My wife gave me a hall pass for my birthday, then called her lawyer. For my 35th birthday, my wife Sarah did something completely out of character. We were having dinner at home, just the two of us, and she slid an envelope across the table with this weird smile on her face. I opened it expecting maybe concert tickets or a gift card. Instead, there was a handwritten note that said, "You have a free pass to do whatever you want with whoever you want. No questions asked. Happy birthday." I just stared at it. Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. We had a good relationship, never talked about open marriage stuff, never even joked about it. This was completely random. I laughed it off and asked if this was some kind of test. She shook her head and said she'd been thinking about it for a while. That marriage shouldn't feel like a prison, that we should trust each other enough to explore and come back stronger. The whole thing felt wrong, but she seemed genuinely serious about it, even pulled up some article on her phone about how hall passes can strengthen relationships. I told her I didn't need a hall pass and that I was happy with what we had. She got kind of defensive, said I was being closed-minded and that she was trying to do something nice for my birthday. We dropped it and finished dinner, but the whole night felt weird after that. 2 days later, Sarah brought it up again, asked if I'd thought about using my pass. I reminded her I wasn't interested, but she kept pushing. Started saying things like, "You must have someone in mind, or I won't be mad, I promise." It was like she wanted me to do something. My buddy Chris came over to watch football that weekend and I told him about the whole situation. He thought it was a trap, said his cousin's wife did the same thing. The guy actually went through with it and she divorced him 6 months later. I figured Chris was being paranoid, but something still felt off. Why was Sarah so insistent? We'd always been solid, never had trust issues, never even had a big fight. Then I noticed she started dressing different, going out with her girlfriends way more than usual, coming home late smelling like perfume and cocktails. When I asked about it, she'd just say she was giving me space to think about my hall pass. One night in November, she came home at midnight and found me watching TV. She sat down next to me and asked point blank if I'd made a decision yet. I told her for the third time that I didn't want to use any hall pass. That's when she got emotional, started crying and saying maybe we'd grown apart, that maybe I didn't find her attractive anymore. I tried reassuring her, but she just went to bed upset. The next morning, I checked our bank account to pay some bills. There was a charge I didn't recognize, some law office downtown for $500. When I asked Sarah about it, she got really defensive, said it was for a consultation about some personal stuff, nothing I needed to worry about. That made my stomach drop. I called the number on the bank statement. The receptionist answered and said it was a family law firm specializing in divorce cases. I hung up immediately. That night, I confronted Sarah straight up, told her I knew she'd been to a divorce lawyer. She didn't even deny it, just sat there on the couch looking at me with this cold expression I'd never seen before. Then she said the most insane thing. "I gave you multiple opportunities to mess up and you didn't take any of them. But it doesn't matter because I already did." My brain couldn't process what she was saying. She explained that she'd been having an affair with someone from her gym for 4 months. The hall pass wasn't for me. It was so she could justify what she was already doing. She thought if she gave me permission first, then it wouldn't technically be cheating when she used her own pass. I asked if she was serious, if this was really happening. She pulled out her phone and showed me texts with some guy named Derek. Plans to meet up, pictures I definitely didn't want to see, everything. The whole hall pass thing was her trying to manipulate the situation so she'd feel less guilty. When I didn't take the bait, she decided it didn't matter anyway. She'd already talked to the lawyer about splitting assets before she even gave me that stupid envelope. I moved out 2 weeks later, filed my own divorce papers with a different attorney. Sarah tried backtracking, saying she made a mistake and wanted to work on things, but I was done. Turned out Derek was married too, and his wife found out around the same time. The whole thing exploded into this massive mess involving 4 people and 2 divorces. Looking back, every sign was there. The pushing, the late nights, the random defensiveness. She'd already checked out of our marriage and was just looking for an excuse to make it my fault.